Hello and welcome back to a new video on this channel. And today we're going to be talking about the ultimate defensive strategy tips in Madden Mobile 25. We talked about it a little bit in another video. This video is going to give you more detail and tips to win. And if you haven't yet, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and click the icon for notifications. Thank you for your support. All right, so let's go ahead and look at from what you wanted to do first when you're looking at your basic defensive strategy in Madden Mobile 25. So real quick, let's go ahead. You want to click on the League tab, and then in this section over here, it's Strategy. So you want to, right there, circled, you want to go ahead and click on that. So let's go a little bit of basics for football if you have not understood this before. Okay, up top you've got different tabs. You got formations, and you got the 3-4 and the 4-3. Okay, that refers to two base defenses where you have either 3 defensive linemen on the front and then 4 linebackers behind you. That would mean the 3-4. So you have the 3 defensive linemen there, and then behind it are those 4 circle linebackers. Okay, the reverse of that is the 4-3, where you have 4 defensive linemen there, and then those are the 3 linebackers. So do you have 4 men guarding the front, or do you have 3? And then do you have 4 people behind, or 3? That would remain 4 of defensive backs after that. So let's take a look at your team, or I'll look at my team and see, but for you, you want to do the same exercise. You want to look at, under defense, the linebacker here and the defensive lineman here. You'll see that they're listed 3-4 and 4-3. So depending on which formation you have, it will sub out one of these players. So for Hassan Reddick, you see different stats, quickness and physical. And then if you look at the defensive tackle, Jeffrey Simmons, oh, wow, his stats, they're both 100 overall, but his stats are not quite as good as Reddick's. Reddick's got more quickness and more physicality. Those are the two that I look at. Mental and all that, that's important. So based on that, I actually would do better in a 3-4. So that's the defense that I'm going to use as my main base defense. Don't use it exclusively, but that's the main one. And then this other one that's in the 4-3, that one I'm going to use less because that player's not as good. Now, they're fairly close, so it's not a big a deal. But if, let's say, I get another iconic, kind of like I have iconics here for defensive backs, then that might make it be more significant difference. And because I got more iconic in the secondary, the defensive backs, you definitely want to include those as far as pass protection ones. So let's go back to the strategy section. And how would you want to build it? Well, based on the knowledge of that, then I want to start with having more 3-4. Now, if you go across the top, you go to favorites, that'll tell you which ones I have. Now, for 2-point conversion, it's goal line formation, so hence that's what you should have because it's just from the 2-yard line. So then you can go down and look at first down, and so you can start looking at, okay, under the favorites tab, which of the 5, you can only choose up to 5 for that scenario. So on first down, one of these 5 plays will be selected for my defense. And if you look at the different ones, I already have ones that are 3-4. Same here for second and short. Now, that doesn't mean all of them are 3-4, but that just means some of them. If you have to look a little closer, here's 2 that are 3-4. 3 of them are 3-4. And then scroll up. And so those are ones that are my base. And you can see some, like pinch buckos, a blitz, and add a man. And others are zone. And so if you go to second and medium, you can look. But like, say, Sam Mike 2 blitz, that's 4-3. So it just kind of, you want to vary it. Don't have the same one every single time. And then as you scroll down, we've got second and long. Now, I'm going to go ahead and choose a new one. So I'm going to start looking, okay, what would be a good one to look at? Well, long, meaning they have to pass, nickel is not a bad one for formation. That means you have 5 defensive backs. So from the nickel, we can look and see, what would be a good one? And then if you scroll down, there's a couple good options, but cover 2 press, meaning 5 defensive backs, not a bad one on second down. I didn't have any nickel in that, so that's a pretty good one to add. Then you keep going down the list. Third and short, obviously you want ones that are closer to the line of scrimmage, so you want more defenders. Pinch bucko is one of my favorites, so I have that in several different categories, but then there's other ones that are good. As you go to medium, which I think medium is between 3rd and 4 and 3rd and 7, I think, and then long, I think, is 3rd and 7 and longer. Saw 3 bluff, I've talked about in other videos. That's one of my favorites. I have that in both 3rd and 4th and long. The 2 safeties creep up pre-snap, look like they're going to blitz, and then they back off. I have gotten a lot of interceptions off of Saw 3 bluff. So that's one that I definitely recommend. It's out of the quarter, which means there's 8 defensive backs. Okay, so now you don't have to have the same ones that I have. Those are the ones that I like, and I would say you should experiment. And here's another one that I like, cover 6. And you can see how it's a zone because of the different little bubbles that are associated with the players. But you could also have a man-to-man. So that one right there, there's no bubbles meant, so that's man-to-man. So you could choose if you're going to add one or, change them out. You can experiment, see which ones are good. So that's what I do. Now, there's a couple other tips on what you should do when you're trying to build it. If you look at a couple different plays here, now this is 2nd and short. You see how those are both out of the 3-4. You want to try to have different coverages, but with the same pre-snap look. So in other words, this one right here on the bottom, pinch bucko, is a 3-4, but could it be a man blitz? Or it could be they drop in a zone. If you have ones that look similar, it's really hard. It confuses the teams on how you... Here's another thing you can do. If you go to League and you click on the Members Activity History, then you can go and you can look at old League versus League matches. Now, why would you want to do this? So I'm going to scroll down, find me, that's my team, and go to Film, and then click on Defense. So now I'm looking at what another team did against my defense. Now, if all you see are offensive plays, that means that they continued at least to eventually score a touchdown. But occasionally, like right here, you see flat buzz zone coverage. Now, this was a 2 PA attempt, so not that big of a thing, but you definitely want to take note. Flat buzz zone coverage. So that was one play that worked, okay? So then you can go through and look at other matches, and you want to keep track. You want to do this on a regular basis. You want to go down, click on your team, click on Film, again, go over to Defense, and scroll down and see, okay, what worked? So, okay, they scored there and scored the 2 PA. Then you scroll down more. Okay, so that one didn't work. So you keep going, and if you see that you have plays that work, take note of it, especially if you see one that is working repeatedly. Now, defense is automated, so you don't have control over it, and so there's only certain things you can do. The best thing you can do is just keep track of one's plays, like this one right here, cover 3 zone coverage. Okay, so keep track of it, and then whenever you go to set your defense, say, okay, well, this play obviously worked because it caused an interception. Or if you get a fumble recovery, or if you stop them on 4 downs, then you can't always know exactly what plays were called, but you can see ones that result in turnovers. So keep that in mind, okay? There is also one other thing you can do. Oh, not league versus league. Sorry, you go back. If you click on My League, and then you click on an individual player, like this one, Third Day, you can actually play the people in your league. Now, you say, okay, I already knew about that. Why is that important? Well, what you can do is you can ask them in the chat, or if you know them in real life, you can contact them in other methods and say, hey, how did my defense do? How did it look? what were the, what worked, what didn't. Do that. So get real life feedback. Have them try it out. If you have a second Madden team, play against each other. See it firsthand. See how it works. So anyway, those are just some tips. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button. Have a great day. Thanks.